Does it feel like every day is a whirlwind when it comes to your child's routine? Like no matter how much you try, things are always chaotic and unpredictable? What if I told you that just a few simple changes could bring more peace and stability to your daily life and make things easier for both you and your child? You're probably thinking, sounds too good to be true, right? But what if I told you it's not only possible, but totally achievable? Today, we're going to talk about how to create a routine that works not just for your child, but for your whole family. You are absolutely not alone in this. Over 1 in 59 children in North America are diagnosed with autism. And the good news is that a predictable, structured routine can make a huge difference, both for your child and for you as a parent. Imagine how much smoother your days could be if you had a plan in place that worked for everyone. So let's get started on unlocking the power of a routine that actually works for your family. Hey there, I'm Emily, and I'm so glad you're here. If you've been feeling like every day is a bit of a struggle when it comes to your child's routine, you're definitely not alone. Creating a routine for a child with autism can be tough, but it's also one of the most important things you can do to help them feel secure and supported. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how you can build a daily routine that works for your child and brings a sense of calm to your family life. Whether you're new to parenting a child with autism or you've been in the game for a while and just need a fresh approach, I've got practical, actionable tips that will help you create a routine that's not only predictable, but also comforting for your child. I'll be walking you through everything step by step, so you won't feel lost or overwhelmed. In the next few minutes, we'll talk about how to establish a consistent schedule that helps your child feel grounded and secure. I'll also share ideas on how to tailor sensory activities to match your child's unique needs and how to include special interests that can make a big difference in their daily routine. We're not just going to talk about the ideal routines today, though. Life is unpredictable, and routines don't always go according to plan. That's why we'll also cover how to stay flexible when things don't go as expected. I'll share how to handle disruptions without feeling like you've lost control or started all over again. Oh, because let's face it, every parent knows that a routine is only as strong as your ability to adapt when life throws a curveball. So by the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable plan to help your child thrive in their daily routine. You'll also be armed with some great strategies that will make your life a lot easier and more manageable. Sound good? Let's get into it. Let's start by talking about why routines are so important for children with autism. Children with autism often thrive in structured environments because it helps them know what to expect and when. Having a predictable routine not only reduces anxiety, but also gives them a sense of control over their day. When they know what's coming next, it helps them feel safe and grounded. Routines give them the security they need to be more confident, which makes everything run more smoothly. One of the easiest ways to start building a solid routine is by setting consistent wake-up and bedtime schedules. I know that sounds simple, but it's powerful. Children with autism often feel less anxious and more secure when they know exactly when their day starts and ends. A consistent bedtime, for example, helps them unwind, which can lead to better sleep. And we all know how much better everyone feels when they're well rested. Let me share a quick story. One parent I spoke to, Lisa, had struggled with getting her child, Jake, to sleep at night. The evenings were chaotic, and it was hard for him to wind down. But once Lisa started setting a consistent bedtime routine, starting with a warm bath, followed by a story, and then bed, things started improving. Jake began sleeping more soundly, and the mornings were easier to manage because he was well rested. His entire day became more predictable, and less overwhelming, which made a huge difference in his mood and behavior. Another tip that can make a big difference is creating visual schedules. For children with autism, visuals are incredibly helpful for understanding what to expect during the day. A visual schedule can be as simple as pictures or icons showing each activity that will happen, whether it's getting dressed, having breakfast, or going to therapy. By using visuals, you can make mornings, or any part of the day, so much easier. Take the example of a parent named Anna. She used a visual schedule to help her son, Max, transition from one activity to the next. Each morning, Anna would point to the picture of the toothbrush to show Max that it was time to brush his teeth. The pictures helped him understand the routine, which reduced frustration and confusion. Soon, Max started following the schedule with more ease and independence. Visuals don't just help with morning routines either. They're great for transitions too. When you use a visual to show what's coming up next, your child has a clear sense of what to expect, which means less anxiety and fewer meltdowns. I'd love to hear from you. What routines have worked for you or your child? Drop a comment below and let's compare strategies. Maybe there's a trick or tip that will work wonders for someone else watching. I'm sure we all have great ideas to share. Now that we've talked about the foundation of routines, let's look at how you can set up a step-by-step process to build a daily routine that works for your child. One thing that's crucial to building a great routine is ensuring your child has time for sensory breaks. Sensory breaks can help prevent meltdowns and help your child stay regulated throughout the day. These breaks give them the opportunity to recharge and process what's going on around them. Whether it's jumping on a trampoline, playing with a fidget toy, or just sitting in a quiet space, sensory breaks are a must-have. I remember talking to Sarah, a mom who noticed that her son, Oliver, would become agitated and have difficulty focusing during homework time. She introduced a sensory break right before homework, just 10 minutes of jumping on a mini trampoline. That short break helped Oliver release energy and reset, which made it much easier for him to sit down and focus on his schoolwork after. It made all the difference. Remember, sensory activities don't have to be big or complex. They're about giving your child the time and space they need to recharge in a way that works for them. Children with autism often have strong passions or interests that they can really connect with. Incorporating these interests into their routine not only keeps them engaged, but also provides them with a sense of motivation and enjoyment. Whether your child loves trains, dinosaurs, or drawing, use their interests to make daily activities more fun and exciting. For example, if your child is fascinated by trains, you can use train-themed items as part of their routine. Maybe they get a sticker for every task they complete, and at the end of the week, they get a special reward, like a new train toy. Not only does this make the routine more engaging, but it also adds a layer of predictability, which is important for children with autism. I'd love to hear about your child's special interests. What passions or hobbies have you incorporated into their routine? Share in the comments, and let's see how we can all use these interests to make routines even more engaging. While routines are incredibly helpful, we all know that life doesn't always go as planned. That's why it's important to stay flexible. Routines are a great tool, but flexibility is just as important. One of the biggest challenges for children with autism can be transitions. Going from one activity to another, especially if they're not ready for it, can cause stress and anxiety. To make transitions smoother, use transition warnings. This can be a verbal warning, like saying, "In 5 minutes, we're going to start cleaning up," or using a visual timer that counts down to the next activity. For example, I know a family who used a timer to help their son, Timmy, transition from playtime to dinner time. They set a timer for 10 minutes, and as the time ticked down, Timmy knew it was almost time to stop playing. By the time the timer went off, he was ready to move on without a meltdown. It didn't always work perfectly, but over time, he got better at understanding when transitions were coming up, which made the whole routine smoother. It's also crucial to remember that routines don't need to be rigid. Life can throw curveballs. Appointments, unexpected changes, or even just bad days. But that doesn't mean everything has to fall apart. Embrace flexibility by having a backup plan or adapting the routine as needed. This way, you don't feel like the whole day is ruined if things don't go exactly as planned. Take Emily, for example. She had a solid routine for her son, Ethan, but one day, a last-minute appointment threw everything off. Instead of panicking, Emily had a backup plan. She swapped out some activities, kept the structure as much as possible, and Ethan was able to adjust. The day still had a flow. And even though things changed, the routine wasn't lost. For more in-depth advice, check out the book Autism Positive Parenting by Sharon Davin. It's packed with strategies just like these, and you can grab a copy using the link in the description below. Have you ever had to adapt a routine unexpectedly? What strategies worked for you? I'd love to hear your tips in the comments, so we can all support each other in making routines work, even when life gets tricky. We've covered a lot of important strategies for building a routine that works for your child. And I really hope you're feeling more confident about putting these ideas into action. I want to take a moment to remind you how much your support means to us and how much it helps others who are in the same situation. If you're finding this video helpful so far, go ahead and hit that like button. It only takes a second, but it truly makes a huge difference in helping more parents like you find the tips and support they need. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll get notified whenever we upload new videos full of practical advice and strategies, just like the ones we're talking about today. It's completely free, and it guarantees that you won't miss out on anything that can help make your life easier and your child's routine smoother. So, let's take a moment to wrap everything up and make sure we've covered all the key points. Building a routine for your child with autism doesn't have to be overwhelming. The first step is to establish a consistent schedule, starting with wake-up times and bedtime. Consistency helps your child know what to expect and reduces anxiety, which creates a more peaceful environment for everyone. Next, make sure to incorporate sensory-friendly activities into the routine. These breaks allow your child to reset, stay regulated, and manage the sensory overload that can sometimes cause meltdowns. Whether it's a quiet corner with calming visuals or a few minutes of jumping on a trampoline, sensory breaks are essential. And perhaps most importantly, remember to remain flexible when things don't go according to plan. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes you'll need to adapt your routine. The key is to have that structure in place, but also be ready to make adjustments as needed. Flexibility doesn't mean chaos. It just means you're prepared for the unexpected, and that can actually make your routine stronger. All of these pieces come together to create a routine that's predictable, calming, and supportive of your child's needs. And that's what really matters. Creating an environment where your child can thrive and feel secure. I want to remind you, if you found these tips useful, and if you want to keep making progress in building the best routine for your child, don't wait any longer to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on the life-changing tips we'll be sharing in our next video. If you've been holding off on subscribing, now's the time. Hit that button and make sure you're part of this community that's here to help you every step of the way. You don't want to miss what's coming next. And trust me, you'll see the difference once you start making these changes. Let's keep moving forward together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.